Are you sustainable? As an individual, your mind is sustainable. Are you happy? We think sustainability could be easy, but Mother Nature knows how to do it in different ways. So we also need to do the same thing. We need to learn how to adapt in relationships. How do we do business that is sustainable? How does that extend to the world?
Hello and welcome to the Regenerative Design Podcast. I'm your host, Mathieu Mehuis, and in this show, I interview the leading authorities in the world of regenerative practices. People who do good and do well. Are you a person that cares about your environment and our planet? Are you a person that wants to leave the planet to our children to be something that we can be truly proud of? Something to enjoy for many generations to come. But are you also a person that believes we can do all of this and do good in business? Well, I have really good news for you. You're here listening to the podcast that is all about making our planet a better place and making your business more successful. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Regenerative Design Podcast. And today we have a special episode because it's not just one person that we're interviewing a couple.
Yes.
So this is really cool. And it's not just any couple, it's a power couple. It's Armando and Anita Ortega. Guys, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. We are honored to have this interview with you and with your audience.
Excellent.
Nice.
Thank you so much. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, so I'll first give a rough introduction. So you guys are the founders of Zero Energy Developments, and you guys are on a mission to build America's first net zero, healthy, smart communities. So that's really exciting because that's fully aligned with the work that I do about regeneration. Our built infrastructure is a big part of it. And in a lot of countries, just like in the US, there's a lot of work to be done in how we build our homes and how we live in our homes, how we interact with the environment around it. So I'm super excited to talk about it in depth with you guys. But first off, like, how did all of this start? Like we talked about it offline. You guys been together for 32 years.
That's right.
And like, how did this happen? How did all of this happen?
This is great. Well, again, thank you so much. And to your audience, we're excited to be here and to share inspiration to so many people listening and coming together into a one voice that we matter and the world matters and what we do matters, right? Our relationship inspired so much of what we're doing with Zero Energy Developments and how we're putting that into the house and where we build these houses. I love, that you invited us and become part of this because you care about Mother Nature. And Mother Nature takes care of us, so we need to take care of it, right? And so that's where our vision comes from, being connected to our roots, our
being
mother,
grounded.
our parents. And as we were sharing early, our relationship, we started really young. I was 17, she was 20 when we met. And so
awesome.
Even though he looks older, right? Let's all agree to that.
Yes.
We
Watch
won't
on
disclose
YouTube to
our
verify.
age. But over 3 decades that we've been together, and we've discovered the secret to sustainability in many aspects. And we want to share that to your audience, to the people that are listening to this podcast. And there's 3 levels of sustainability that can impact the world. The first one, it's the most important one, which is you. Are you sustainable? As an individual, your mind is sustainable. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you negotiable? Are you prosperous? Are you looking for your best version of yourself? Are you giving love and grace to yourself? Are you in alignment with Mother Nature yourself? Everything has an order. And are you sustainably in your mind and your body and your spirit in order, everything from there can stem better. So that's the first layer. The second layer is sustainability in relationships. And so that extends outside of your insight into somebody else. And then it brings the dynamic connection of other people, because we think sustainability could be easy, but Mother Nature knows how to do it in different ways, how to sustain itself. So we also need to do the same thing. We need to learn how to adapt in relationships. How do we become sustainable? And then third, and not last, because it impacts the whole world, is how do we do business that is sustainable, not only with the people and the products, but then how does that extend to the world? We're going to pass, and we're very cognizant of our time on Earth, right? And so we have a limited amount of time to make an impact. We're trying to do that while we're healthy, strong, and that we can make the most impact. So we're here
to make a difference,
to come together with you and your audience and the people in the world that believe that we need to create smarter, more intelligent things that protect us and the environment around us.
I love that. That's a brilliant thought to think like you start with yourself first, then you look into your own family or your community,
correct,
get that in order, and then go out into the world and do business, because I believe business is like the most, it's the best way to have an impact in the world. There's different ways you could do NGO work, you can get into politics. They're all good and they should, but in this podcast I want to focus on businesses, because I believe that's what really changes the world. It's the people that go out there. And I love what you said about like you have to start with yourself, because I think it was a guy from India called Sadhguru, who's like a spiritual leader, you might know. And
I've heard of him.
Like, he's doing a lot of speeches on these events around climate change and all that stuff. And he said, like, you have to have fun yourself. You have to enjoy this regeneration of the planet. There's a big paradigm where I think I don't know where it stems from, but it's kind of this dooms thinking that everything is already too late. The climate is already broken. And so we come from this negativity and then we try to solve it.
Yeah.
It's never too late, right?
It's the half empty mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's you've seen the analogy of the glass is half full or half empty. It's really on how you feel inside. If the world is, if the future of your life is growing like a plant, or is withering like a different type of plant. And so I think that's we answer, and we inspire others. And you inspired me again, just to know that people all over the world, and believe it or not, after our conversation, which probably was close to a year ago, we've been continue to work with Zero Energy Development, and we have now started a vision to create SASSY. And we haven't told you about it, but Be Sassy. SASSY is Sustainability Ambassadors Collective International, which will include a collective of people around the world that do what we're doing in different aspects of business. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be just houses or a product. It could be land, and it could be anything that promotes sustainability, intelligence, better world in the future.
I love that. So I'm very curious to hear from you, because we talked also about it offline, and maybe Anita can jump in more from the family perspective. Like you both have, you have kids together, of course. Mm-hmm. Like how, and they're out of the house. Was that something that changed the energy for you guys to say, let's build a business together, or have you always worked together in business?
So we've actually all pretty much worked together throughout our lives. We have a history of working together. I know a lot of people, when we say that, a lot of relationships, they kind of have these big eyes and say, like, how is that even possible? Like, I don't know that I can work with my significant other in business. We'd kill each other. But, again, it's kind of like what we were saying. It's about that you need to start with as a friendship, with friends. And Armando and I have always been friends from the get-go, from the beginning. Again, he was 17, I was 20. We've got 32 years in this. So we have worked together in business in many aspects. We were back in Florida. We worked in a church, in a ministry together. Nice. We were leaders of youth, of women, of men.
20 years of that.
20 years of working together. We also, not just in the ministry, but we also worked in the offices in the church as administrative. So his office was down the hallway from mine. But we always have known to wear the different hats, like I say. When we're in business, when we're working together, we're working as business partners, as as a team. We have online businesses together that we've created. We've had short-term rentals like Airbnb, VRBO, which we've managed together as well. Mm-hmm. We've worked in a chemical plant here in Georgia together. He was plant manager. I was in the offices as administrative, logistics, so cool. Shipping, receiving. And so it's just about liking each other. At the end of the day, I like him as a person. He likes me as a person. And therefore, we're going to, unite. We've raised 4 children. We adopted one when she was 12 years old. I was pregnant with our first. And she's 40 years old now with 2 babies of her own. So we are proud grandparents.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then we have 3 biological children. We have a boy that's 26, Caleb, Natalia, who is 23, and then Genesis, which is 21.
Wow.
So they're older, they're young adults, they are on their own, they're amazing children, amazing kids, and now it's our time to do what we want, and one thing that Armando and I have always put a priority in our relationship was each other. Even when we had our children, and raising our children, we were number one. We were the priority. We learned to date each other, to love on each other, to leave the kids with the babysitters and give ourselves some time to connect to be connected all the time. And that's extremely important in a relationship.
This podcast is brought to you by the Garden of Your Dreams Masterclass. Are you struggling with finding the right tools and tricks for your garden? Are you lacking the confidence to be a self-sufficient gardener? Do you sometimes get overwhelmed by the lack of knowledge and time you have to actually do gardening? Then the Garden of Your Dreams Masterclass is for you. That's such a beautiful thing that you walked. It sounds like you guys just love to spend time together, being as a business partner, as friends, as a.
Can you tell we even do podcasts together?
You even do podcasts together. Do you have a tandem bike? Do you have that kind of a?
I know, right? We're missing that one.
We don't need to go that far. We don't need to go that far. But we sleep in the same bed still.
That's funny. But then where did you guys shift to? Like, okay, you've done a bunch of businesses, you've figured out a lot of stuff in life. Where did you say, like, okay, I want to actually build a business that is both a business and doing good for the environment or for society? Where did that shift happen?
Interesting question. So we have had a calling in our lives to make an impact. Like, we feel like we can't die before we do something impacting. And we've lived our life that way in all the areas that we've, I guess, grown.
All the different
in life,
stages.
you always try to do the next best thing, right? Like, I want to do that. You do it and you're like, wow, I feel so good. I did that. And then you're like, what's my next thing? I want to do that. And then you do it and you're like, man, I'm good. I can do things. And, and then you go a little bit further. So we had that journey. When I got to the probably the most comfortable position as a person, I had some some ironic situation that when you have everything and you're not happy.
Yeah,
I had a moment that I'm like, wow, I have the most money, the most freedom. I can coast along and we'll be fine. And that scared me because it was not where I really felt that I could grow. And I said, I need to do something. I started literally praying for an opportunity to find impact in a way that would be meaningful and also create a legacy, create wealth. One of the things that I always told my wife, I never cared about money because I know that money will one day, be something that you'll have plenty of because we have good hearts. We have a desire to help and do good things. We just need to find the right opportunity. And that's exactly what happened. Our partner, Bernard Ostra, as we became friends, he started sharing the vision of Zero Energy Developments, which was to build a sovereign home, a vital, secure home, one that didn't have neglect on the value that's being put in the house. You're paying all this money for a house and the houses are not made better, right? They're actually made worse. Warranties and things happening with houses are worse. The health factor in the house is ignored. It's not looked at. Nobody looks at house and say, how healthy or how pure, how good is this house?
Materials?
But if you build a hospital, a clinic, a dentist, you have to care for those things, right? So the houses in where all of us live has been neglected. And the resilience of not counting with, the unreliable power grid that sometimes can come and take your whole family down just because you don't have a backup plan. We started talking about this, and I'm like, I would love to make this a reality with you. I am a visionary. When I see an opportunity, I know like this is it. And this was like the answered prayer for me. I said, Anita, this is amazing to be able to be a developer, to be able to build the houses of the future, to be able to do it in a way where everybody wins. Like to me, it was, I saw the end, and we've been now over 2 years working on this. And it is the most beautiful fulfillment in our lives to be able to do something meaningful, because it's needed. And a lot of people don't do it because it's risky. We'll take the risk. I would love to live to do something that is worth for somebody else. And what we're doing will literally impact humanity and potentially the world. And so our product will and is impacting the world. We're here talking to you. We're going to reach people. We don't know who, but those people can get inspired just because we're pushing forward. And that, just like you pushed me when I see you doing what you're doing, people that hear your podcast, people that hear me, people that hear us doing the right thing, we get inspired. So we're just full of energy to do this vision,
to share that
and
energy,
to do something good for the planet in the meantime. And
that's right.
We do believe that we're in a paradigm shift. The whole world is. And so we are part of that new beginning. We're thinking in the best, give the best to the people, because the people, we're the ones that are here in this planet.
I love that. Very beautiful vision, and you're actually doing it for 2 years already. And I think you hit on some very important marks to say, like, I think in general, probably because of inflation, speculation, housing is becoming very expensive, and just like building costs, all those elements. So it's very tempting for developers to reduce the quality of the homes,
correct,
to be able to still sell at a high price. As there's probably new technologies or new systems that require less or more harmful materials that can be used. A lot of chemicals are being used. A lot of houses are poor in quality, in isolation, in ventilation, and that can be a disaster for molds and create a lot of health issues over time. And so I think it's a very noble thing to do, to focus on that, because whatever you're going to build, it's for the children of the people that will live there. So
correct.
You have to think. I've come across this beautiful thing now that in indigenous people from Canada, I don't know the exact name, but as they make or still make decisions in their community, they say when we make decisions, we think 8 generations ahead. So we think like, okay, whatever we're going to build now or do, we have to think like, how is that going to impact 8 generations from today? And
So
that's
smart.
crazy.
Exactly.
Like nobody does that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everybody thinks about
the now.
1 to
They
10
think about
years, maybe
now.
the return on investment of a year,
Correct,
or a quarterly return, and
Correct.
they're thinking 8 generations. So I think with the work you're doing, you're going to embed that. So what have you come across from probably doing some study and looking at the housing in Canada? What are the main in the US? What are the main issues in construction, and how are you solving them?
perfect. Yeah, so right now we have a housing shortage that creates a very dynamic situation in whichever way, right, you're leaning into this. There is a need for houses, so houses will always sell, and this is what perpetuates in a way what you just mentioned, the sub quality in the housing. um, we are looking at it from two different angles on how to hedge for the future. We are building at scale, so we can actually have more leverage because we're building, and our margins are a little bit allowing us to pivot a little bit better, and still provide the value,
quality,
right? And then the other one is that we do a built for rent product. So if we can't sell the houses because the market conditions are not favorable, we can always switch to the built for rent. So we still have the portfolio and still produce that way. And that's really what we are thinking about as far as if the market conditions become unfavorable, we can always pivot due to our scalability. In other words, our capacity. We already get additional discounts by building these at scale, and it allows us to have a little bit more wiggle room. Our vision is to make sure that the best house is literally bought at the most fair price. As a company, we could charge $1 million for these houses if we wanted to, because we're selling you all the options: solar power, battery backup, air filtration, water filtration throughout the whole house, regenerative gardens, landscaping. We can have off-grid capabilities. We're going to have rain barrels collecting rain so that you can, again, utilize that water if you need to. Our resilience in our houses, the insulation, the factor of peace, the zen, like you're disconnected from the world. You get to save between 60 to 70% on your electrical bill. All of that is packaged into the cheapest price that you will find in the market, because nobody builds the houses with the health conscious and the security that brings you to your family first. Our practice, and again, since we're seasoned people, almost like accomplished, you could say, our vision is not about money, which is, I think, what most people get into this business to make money, right? And so it may shift the actual focus of what we should be building. We turned the paradigm around. It's kind of like when the phones didn't have a touch screen, and now you can put all these apps in your phone. Now your phone is not to make a phone call. You can do so many more things. We see the house the same way. The house is like a touch screen now. You can add more things, and it's actually better for you. We want to be the first ones to bring that to the market in a way that is most affordable.
Wow, that's beautiful. It'll be interesting. I just had this idea to show, like, when people buy a home, they probably mostly think about the initial investment and paying back the loan of the bank, or their rental that they have to pay. But then the running costs from operating a home, let's say, that can add up as well. And if you guys can prove, like, okay, you might have to invest, I don't know how much more expensive it would be than general houses. Do you have some stats on that, or is it competitive?
So very competitive.
Very competitive.
Yeah, okay. So we're at the 450 to 560 range starting, right, for a 3-2 house. Yeah. And they're going between 1,600 to 3,100 square feet.
Okay. That's great. So that then you could say, like, it's even competitive, or let's say even it's 5% more than a regular home because you have better materials, then you could show, like, oh, okay, you might have to pay a little bit more, but look at how your monthly expenses are gonna go down, like 60% less energy, all of those things. Maybe even you could add in your medical bills, because a lot of people have health issues, and in America you don't have a strong, you have a private health system, so you have to take care of it. It's very expensive. I heard in the US it's somewhere between $200,000 per person per life on average, what people spend on healthcare bills. Which is, like, for many people, that means if they have to pay it at once, which can happen when you have cancer, or it's like a bankruptcy. So if you live in a healthier home that is more regenerative, that has healthy water, healthy air, then your medical bills will go down as well.
And that's the value that we're bringing to our homes, and why we want to make it as affordable as possible, because we want to be able to allow families and give the opportunity to families that are just starting, that are raising children, or that are just starting their families, a good quality home, a healthy home. I suffered from allergies all my life, and so have some of our children, and being in one of our homes, for example, we'll have a good air quality, an air quality control, that will help eliminate, if not eliminate, health issues such as allergies, or just internal health issues because of the water you're drinking. That is why we're going to have water, filtered water, and throughout the whole home. So it's not just your drinking water, it's the water that you're watering your garden with, or you're giving your pets, that you're bathing with. Our skin is the largest organ in our bodies. When we shower, we don't think about it, but our skin is absorbing that water internally. So these are the things that we're bringing to our homes to help and give and offer and give value to the families that we're trying to help and provide something better.
I love that, and that's extremely valuable. Like, we have to be able to put a price on that, and so that people understand what the real value of the homes you're creating are. And I think there's another beautiful topic that we could talk more about. Is like, I've been investigating a little bit in the US and in how communities are built with the homeowner associations and how they manage the properties, and how much chemicals are being used in the gardens and the semi-public spaces in with contractors coming in to maintain the lawns, and they use a bunch of chemicals because they're kind of incentivized to use it. And it's kind of this age-old thing, like, oh, why would we change it? We've been doing it forever since with those chemicals, but you don't need to do that. So I'm very hopeful that you guys are going to create that lush environment as well, where you have no chemicals in the gardens and in the semi-public spaces. Could you elaborate a bit more on that? Because you're going to build communities.
Thing. We just started a research and development for this, which we're excited. And in my community, there's already an agricultural garden, community garden. And so what we did is we have a half an acre, and we decided to take a portion of that and donate it to the community for research and development. And we are working with a local person here. His name is Tress Crow, and he is a owner of a company called Green Box Homes. Green Box Homes, what they do is they have a different sustainable type of vision. They only do electrical machines to come into the garden, like to take care of it. And they come every week to your house to either plant or to structure your garden to be more native, so that it's got native plants and it's more natural in the way that it should be. Our houses will have that implementation, everything that we are learning from here in the community. That's exactly what we're going to be applying into the houses, which is regenerative gardens and native landscaping, so that it's more in tune, right, with Mother Nature. And it is a paradigm shift. People do not, they do things without knowing. You buy a house and you think you need to have green grass, right? And yes, you can do so many more things with your yard, and it's just a lack of understanding and knowledge that this is right there, perfect landscape to create any canvas, paint any picture that you want. And now it brings you in tune with nature. Like, it's proven when you work in your garden, your stress levels go down. Your life just gets happier. I mean, just think about that. For whoever's listening, go outside, take off your shoes, and just get
just grounded with
breathe
the earth.
And look up and realize we're already in the abundance, right? And it's just connecting to Mother Nature. And we're definitely going to be implementing the best. We're actually working with some of the universities here and applying some of the technologies into the agricultural space, so that we can have, let's say, an aquaponics type of garden inside, like a shed that the community can enjoy and then share on produce. When was the last time you heard a neighbor, hey, let me give you some of my produce, or exchange something? This is how we started bartering. That's what money was. Money was food, right? It was bartering, it was sharing. And this is where the values come from. We're adding that value back into the community.
That's so nice. I want to ask a little bit more about on the specific projects you are working on and where you are at the stages, just to see where you're at, and maybe even some listeners that are listening could help out. I think you're still looking for financing, right?
We're in a couple different stages. We have right now, no exaggeration, probably over 10 pieces of land, but that we're not directly working into, but that they're potentials. As far as we're at least working with 3 of those properties right now that are, I guess, in due diligence project. We have a 96 acre in the north of Atlanta. It's a city called Ball Ground, one word, and it's an indigenous sport that was played there. We're bringing this community there. It's actually closest to the closest winery to Atlanta. So it's going to be a very cool spot. And seeing nature, and we're trying to allow more screen space so the community has more of a different type of setup. There's almost like a little gardening space you can walk around and enjoy nature. And so that one is under contract. We're looking to close here within 30 to 60 days, and that we would start that project immediately. The first 4 homes.
72 acres in that particular land.
Yeah, it's 72 acres plus 24, which they're adjacent to one another. And the other piece of land, which is exciting to hear, is that Zero Energy Developments would probably be doing our first boutique hotel.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to also, and it's going to include this same technology. So again, it brings that health factor benefits to the people living inside of these residences.
I love that. That's a brilliant idea to add that, because maybe when people, I'm pretty sure if they come there, you could have some people will feel that it's a different hotel, and then they might get interested and they'll contact you to build their home wherever they are in the world, to do more.
Yeah, so that's one of the projects, and we have some in Atlanta. We have a 9-acre project that will yield about 50 homes. And that project there, it's a little bit different because it's a little bit more closer to the city. So what the city allows you to do there shifts, but we still implement Zero Energy Development's concepts.
And the concept.
Everything that we're doing there, so people get the benefits of the health factor as well.
Nice. And then that was actually one of my questions. Do you, especially probably in that bigger scale project, have you thought of incorporating other businesses? Like you said already hotel, but are you looking at other ways to diversify the financial return? Because oftentimes that can be challenging as well when you only focus on housing, and then let's say something happens with the housing, you have a housing crisis for 3 years, then that becomes really difficult. So just like in nature, have you found ways to diversify the services that the developments and the communities are going to provide?
Yeah, so right now the vision is single family homes, but we are going to be expanding outside of that. Like I said, a boutique hotel, smaller residences where people can actually find affordable housing. That's one of our visions, because that's a huge need, right? People that need affordable housing, and we can build these, smaller as well. We're just right now focused on the family nucleus, right? The family nucleus, people that are our biggest testimony, people that with the kids, as Anita said, this is really important. And to go back to your question, we're always raising capital. So we want to continue to purchase land. So if you care to be a part of, please just let us know how, and we will get you involved with that aspect of it. It's another area that we've learned to raise capital and to build these type of developments. We don't come from this knowledge or from wealth. We're actually we're pioneers in doing this. And so we invite anybody that's looking to invest into something that is sustainable and meaningful to contact us, because you will be part of something that's going to change the world. And quite honestly, you'll get very financially stable from what we're doing, just because our vision is scalability. It's a scalable vision, and that's exactly where we will be going.
Nice. That's great. So what are some of the biggest problems that you're currently facing with, or that you foresee to happen in the future, the bigger roadblocks? Because I'm assuming it's not going to be a straight line to the finish line. There are going to be some challenges. Have you already come across some, and do you foresee others to happen?
I think the breathing, and being alive, sometimes people say it's like, they're scared of things. We don't get scared of challenges. Like, to me, challenges are your classroom. We haven't had, major challenges other than continue to assemble what is required to get a vision of this size, magnitude, started. It creates a lot of relationships. It requires a lot of, communication and transacting and getting everybody in place. I think if anything has been the challenge for us, it's been learning how to structure everything that we've never assembled, right? It's almost like when you have that puzzle and they like put this together, if it has 10 pieces, hey, okay, just come see me in 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 seconds, whoever. But if you have
5,000 pieces,
if you have the 10,000 pieces, you're like, give me some time. And so I think I see life like a puzzle. It's more like, oh, I found a piece, I don't know where it goes, or I'm looking for a piece, I don't know where to find it. I just keep trying and pivoting and shifting and not giving up until the right piece fits there. So for some people, this is a nightmare. But I, again, being married for so long,
that was the biggest challenge, and he's passed it. Anita, so you're welcome.
Anita has taught me all my business.
I doubt that, Anita. That's funny.
But yeah, I would say that there hasn't been a challenge that we haven't been able to overcome.
Yeah.
It's been more about having the patience to know that a project like this takes time, and getting the people to be in it takes time.
And it's about having the right team, the right people aligned with the same alignment, vision, and mission. And it makes it a little easier when you do have that team that's, very, again, like a relationship. You have that team that's in it together to make it happen.
Yeah. And I think it's a great metaphor to compare it to making puzzles. And it sounds like you guys enjoy making puzzles as a metaphor, and maybe in real life, I don't know, or in your free time. But what are some of the puzzle pieces that you are looking for at the moment? So that you like, oh, we need that puzzle, I don't know where to find it.
Okay, I would say is
funding.
Funding it's an ever resolving puzzle, because it's like you get ahead one step at a time. Like one investor will get you from point A to point D, right? And then from there on, then you need to do it again and then get additional money and stack that to get you to point, let's say, G, and then be able to get all the way to T, and then so on and so forth. Raising capital would be the one that we are always learning about. And that raising capital brings you to the next thing, which is finding the right land to yield the right thing for our projects. So step one, get the money. Step two, let's buy the land that we can make sure that we continue to scale. That would be the two things.
That's great. So whoever's listening, we'll be adding all the details in the show notes so they can reach out. So what are you guys most excited about for the next 5 years?
Oh my gosh.
Wow, what are we not excited about?
I think there's
most excited.
Honestly, it's a grand vision in 5 years. In 5 years, we would be already achieved our mission to a certain degree. We have had already built multiple houses, and I think we have had influence and impact. Impact not only us, but other people. At that point, we have already satisfied our existing investors, and also expanded not only outside of our state, but potentially at that time, start to go international. We plan to go public in, probably in the 5-year mark. So that's when we would potentially be scaling even higher. So in the next 5 years, our vision is going to be maybe halfway through what we want to accomplish, which is to be a brand that you can trust, a brand that you associate with health in houses, a brand that you say, this is actually the smartest and most intelligent, the healthiest, the vital, secure home. I'd rather buy one of those homes. I will pay,
a little extra
money for my health,
for the value.
because I care more about my health than I do about money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting. I love that. So it's very clear, your vision, your mission is clear. You guys are already moving ahead. So I'm very excited to see where all of this is going and where all of this is leading. Now, to the listeners, do you have some final, even people that might be thinking, oh, I'd love to do something like that or something else? Do you have some final words for people who are maybe not too happy like you were, maybe, I don't know, when you were in that phase where like you have everything, you feel good, but you're unsatisfied because you like know there's so much more. What is your best piece of advice from both of you?
I'll let
To
Anita go
Well,
first.
for me, it would be, leave a legacy, leave a legacy, or join us. Our mission right now is to leave a legacy, like what we were saying about the 8 years, looking 8 years ahead, is to leave a legacy for our families, for other families, for our children, for our grandchildren. Sometimes we weren't taught, or we didn't see our own parents thinking that way, having that progressive mentality. They were only looking at the now
Mhm.
for whatever reasons. We're at the point where we're looking into the future. Armando's a visionary. He has always been a visionary. He's helped me see that and become a visionary as well. And to trust, trust in each other, trust in what you want to do. And we're here. That is what we're doing. That is our purpose. We have the vision, we have the mission, we have the team, and we are going to make an impact. We are going to leave a name for zero energy development. Once we're not here anymore on Earth physically, we will leave that legacy for others to take that baton and continue running and fulfilling the mission that we are on.
That's a beautiful
That's
thing.
beautiful.
And is there some interest of some of your children? And maybe this is, we could talk about it off mic if you don't want to talk about it on mic, but I'm just curious.
About the children, like if they're on the same
Oh,
mission and vision.
most
If they want to
definitely.
join the family business.
This is something that we all think about, like being sustainable in creating our family. Raising a family, it's a challenge. And so it's getting the teenage mind to adapt to an adult mind, and taking on a challenge that you will feel happy about. So to Anita's point, legacy is one of those things, but a lot of people don't get to know what even legacy means, right? Like they're still, either they are there or they might be so lost that they don't see beyond the next day sometimes. So I just want to inspire anybody listening right now. You are special. You're not here by coincidence. Your mistakes are equal to everybody else's. We are all imperfect, and we make perfection out of our imperfect lives. You don't require perfection to make a difference in the world. You just require passion, to love, to desire something. You have the power to make a change in somebody's life today. You do it. It's a phone call, it's a text, it's a call, it's a gesture, it's helping somebody, it's bringing somebody a fruit, it's doing something for the environment, it's doing something even for yourself. It's seeing that the value starts with you. The value starts with you that's listening. You have the power to do and make that dream that was placed in your heart a reality. Now, hear it from somebody that is nobody, that has believed in myself to do something bigger than myself. So don't look at yourself and what you don't have. Look at yourself and say, anything that I dream can become a reality. And once you say that, the next day wake up and say, I dreamt this and I know it's going to become real. And wake up every day and don't listen to the noise. The noise will always tell you you're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. You're not the person.
That you're not worthy.
You're not worthy.
Enough.
You don't know what that is. Don't worry about any of that.
You
Dream, envision it, imagine it, and then say, I believe it. And I promise you, all things that you need will show up in your path. It may not be the way you want to, it may not be the color you wanted, it may not be the way, but you know what? It will be in a way that it was supposed to happen, because part of the doing this is your journey. Smile, breathe, and enjoy your cup of coffee or tea and say, I'm thankful to be alive. And now I can make a difference just because you have that power. So I hope you that are listening, you take this to your heart and you say, I can do this because this guy here, I could have done nothing.
Yeah,
I could have been,
we're not special. We're not any
special.
different.
Yeah.
We're all,
we have more mistakes and more problems maybe than you do. So don't let anything in your mind stop you from making your dreams a reality.
This is so brilliant, and it's in a way also so simple and accessible. And I think you just gave like a small masterclass on how to make a life worth living. And I think it all starts with what you said, because it sometimes feels like, oh, it's easy to do those small things and then you'll become successful. But it's really important to start with where you are today. Do something small by helping someone across the street. Do something that is small, and then the next day it becomes easier to do something a little bit bigger, and then you build momentum. And when you have momentum, in all of my career, when I have momentum, like that's when all the crazy things happen, and like everything falls into your lap, and God is on your side.
We have to start somewhere. Yeah, we have
But
to
you
start
start
somewhere.
with something small and
Correct.
something, and there's always something you can do. And for me, honestly, it starts with my morning. I make my bed. It's like small, may seem insignificant, but it gives me a great feeling, like I've accomplished something. And then it's the rest of the day is easy, and I start my day with a half an hour of doing something, like to keep your mind sane, because there's so much noise, like you guys said, that even from your own mind there's so much noise. Then you put on the TV, which I don't recommend watching, but there's so much thing, and then you open your emails, there's problems that you have to solve throughout the day. But taking that half an hour to do something, journaling, read a book, do meditation, do yoga, whatever works for you. Like it's different for everyone. Pray, whatever it is, and try out different things. It's like trying on a different pants, different clothes. Like you have to try it on.
Yeah.
And then if you found your thing, is like the most beautiful thing. Like I find if I nail my first 1% of my day, when I do it well, the 99% becomes super easy. So it's something that I've worked on now recently. And it aligns with what you said, I think.
That is 100%. And I want to add to what you said. So whoever wants to like interpret it this way, there's not enough time for you to do everything that you're supposed to do. If you had to do everything that you're supposed to do as a human, that we have responsibilities, there's not enough time to do everything perfect. And so you have to focus on what you know will yield fruit in your life. Spend time in the garden of your mind that you know will yield fruit. So that way you can have seeds to plant again, some to share, some to eat, and some to replant. So don't get frustrated with yourself. Life is already full of items. Don't beat yourself up for not being able to do things. We're all in the same crunch, and we need to create a space around us where the pressure of time, responsibility, and all of these things press you down and don't let you feel like I can do this. So just take a deep breather and say, it doesn't matter that circumstances are not perfect. Let your eyes of your heart guide you, not the eyes of your face, because they might confuse you. But inside of you, each of us know that we have something to give. Follow that intuition and it will happen.
So nice. I think on that beautiful note, it's time to end this show. Thank you very much, Anita and Armando, for coming on the show. This was brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Just a final question. If people are excited, they want to connect, network, collaborate, how can they best find you?
They can reach us, visit our website, www.zendevhomes.com. Our emails are on there, Anita@zeroenergydev.com and Armando@zeroenergydev.com. Reach out, visit our website. You'll have all the information, and we would love to connect and give you more if you are interested in collaborating and aligning with the vision of creating an impact and leaving a legacy.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be blessed. Take care.